Hello, Culture Matters podcast. We're back again with another 30 days of thought, self-actualized poker face. Have I put in the work? Am I maximizing my talent? What is my talent? What is my calling? What am I good at? What do I think I'm good at? What am I not good at? What do I think I'm not good at? Have the people closest to me shared with me what they think I'm good at, what I'm capable of? Have I ever asked, would they be afraid to? Would I be willing to ask what I'm good at or what I'm not good at? These are some questions that one can ask themselves. I can ask myself, should on a regular basis. I think maybe you'd benefit from asking some of these questions to yourself as it relates to your talent. And the question is, or a question to ask is the degree of sacrifice that I'm making towards my goals proportional to the talent that I believe I have? The last thing that I want to do is think that I'm more talented than I am, because my self-concept will be out of alignment with the actual concept that brushes up against people that come across me in my life, meaning I'm not going to excel at the level that I believe that I'm worthy of excelling or desire to excel at, because I'm not clear enough on my self-concept. I'm not clear enough on the degree by which I need to sacrifice to achieve my aims, to achieve my desires, to master self-excellence, to refine the practice skill necessary. We're on page 97 today of 30 Days of Thought, and page 98. And I'm going to read this excerpt, and I've written down my thoughts to develop, sharing with you some of my thoughts to speak to let go. I'm going to listen to this later so I can listen to hear what is unsaid, because the purpose of 30 Days of Thought is to read to think, write to develop, listen to hear what is unsaid, speak to let go, for the purposes of self-awareness and strategy and refinement of my own thoughts, so that I could be a better leader, not just a better salesperson, not just a more capable marketer of Culture Matters, not just a more refined leader and a better listener with those that I get to work with and those that have to participate or put up with me in life, but a more well-rounded person. That's part of the purpose of 30 Days of Thought. And if we're talking about success and we're talking about development of business, it's going to be important for me, for my self-concept to be in alignment with how I actually show up in the world. And so I'm going through 30 Days of Thought again, as I do every year, it seems to be, to see where I'm at, to see, have I improved? Am I a better version of myself, actually? Do I think the same thing as I once thought? Do I agree with the assumptions that I used to live my life by? Or have my assumptions changed? And why, if they have changed? Have I read more? Have I unlearned? Have I learned anew? Am I smarter and better and faster? Am I a better version of myself actually? Do I have another year of experience, or is it the same year as last year, just another time over? Today we're talking about self-actualized poker face, which is dedicated to all the bullies. If you know one, have one, or are one, read this and just let go. When arising from pain and its counterpart, insecurity, one may become worthy through self-excellence or practice skill. Interdependence at its finest hour. The elusive pursuit of a talent sharpened against endless hours of self-purgatory, is the delusion of importance. Due to this self-absorbed cognition, they in turn operate at a low frequency. This frequency exudes a false confidence, but internally perpetuates self-doubt and insecurity. The mask of pride takes over its wearer and in turn disturbs all succumb to this antagonist. When we are faced with foes of this nature, our role must shift to that of water. Like water, we must flow based on our environment and who we meet day to day. Similar to life, water symbolizes us becoming our environment with its natural movement. In our life, our paths may be crossed by those whose character is solid, but consists of tar, a black substance consisting of vain behavior. This is plagued with ill notions of self and embodying a, quote, hate speak concept for others. These lost souls are set in stone, firmly ensconced in their self-gratification, and will impose their negativity on others who are unable to fight back. They are our antagonists, inculcated in the selfish and soulless embrace, at skill of craft, but blind to their disillusion. Make sure to keep an open mind, heart, and spirit, for their encounters may crucify you or create you. Your inner power lies within. Find it along with your confidence, competence, lovingness, and neutrality. Be water, my friend. I'm diagnosing a problem of endeavor, success, and making an argument simply that self-awareness trumps self-actualization. Now, meaning that first sentence, right? So when arising from pain and its counterpart, insecurity, it's the absence of security that leads to the action. One may become worthy through self-excellence or practice skill. The absence of security, the void of purpose from this idealized version of myself. I'm chasing Jay in the future. I have to be, and I'm willing to sacrifice the impulses today to practice, to prepare, to refine myself, to to be more useful, to compete at the highest level possible. And I've got to be aware that the value that comes as a consequence of that, that makes me a better person within the context of what I do, a more valuable person in relationship to those that want to do what I do, or that want to excel at the level that I excel, or chasing the same goals as I am. I've got to be careful that I don't lose my ability to hear what's unsaid. I don't lose my ability or my capacity to be present and intentional. I don't lose myself in the process of chasing myself. I don't lose my capacity for love, for empathy, for care, for patience. I don't lose the virtues that I may have had, or I may have a capacity to have in this pursuit of power, in this pursuit of a purpose outside of myself. I'm not good enough. I'm trying to become better. Rule number 4 and 12 rules for life. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to someone else's today. I'm attempting to improve myself. My purpose is coming from the sacrifices that I make in relationship to the arbitrary goals that I have in the future of where I want to be. It's creating a meaning. There's a meaning to my life as a consequence of not doing things that I'd like to do for things that I'd like more. And in within those choices, there's practice, there's repetition, there's accountability from the people around me in my life that are seeing me uh, sacrifice or seeing me not sacrifice and are telling me. And I have to be, I have to I'm capable of hearing that feedback on a spectrum of awareness. So is this a conversation around the victim becomes the bully. The oppressor becomes the oppressed becomes the oppressor without awareness, without a pause, without an intervention of values. And the command here is like water. We must flow based on our environment and who we meet day to day. Similar to life, so water symbolizes us becoming our environment with its natural movement. In our life, our paths may be crossed by those whose character is solid but consists of tar. So just because I've built myself up to be more competent and in turn confident doesn't mean my confidence is coming from a unifying uh, 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 a unifying purpose or an openness, an open heart, an open spirit. Maybe I'm jaded, and maybe I'm cynical. Maybe I've become um, scarred from the failure, from the adversity. I'm unwilling to listen. I maybe at one time I did listen and I stopped listening because it was too much. I couldn't handle the truth. Right? Be careful, right? The elusive pursuit of a talent sharpened against endless hours of self-purgatory is the delusion of importance. I cannot let my competence develop into a pride that separates me from love, that separates me from, because it's an important, a key variable of leadership is seeing and unleashing the best in other people. And if I'm jaded by loss, if I'm jaded by betrayal, if I'm scarred by the inevitable um, pain and suffering and adversity that I'm going to face in the pursuit of success, then I'm going to end up being less of the person I'd like myself to be, less loving, less of a listener, less of a leader, less of a person in spirit or inspired but everything that I'm pursuing, all the success that I'm pursuing is actually starting to invert on me and having negative consequences that I never foresaw when I had lack, when all I could think about was what I wanted and what I thought I needed to have significance and to be considered worthy of love, worthy of admiration, worthy of respect, worthy of significance. There may even be an inherent, almost like an inherent working against the best of myself in the pursuit of becoming more confident. Is it a real confidence that's coming from love, or is it a confidence that's coming from what I can do for you or what you could do for me? Where's the relationship? Or is it just a transaction? What's the value of relationships? How do I have relationships? What the what are what, does the quality of the relationship that I have a relationship with the quality of the relationship I have with myself? It had at some degree. It wouldn't be too big of a stretch of the imagination. I think the quality of the relationships that I have has a relationship with the quality of the relationship that I have with myself. The quality of the relationship I have with myself has a relationship with the quality of the relationships that I have with others. How well do I listen? How honest am I? What degree of courage do I represent in the world? And this is where sacrifice comes in, commitment comes in, the relationship I have my word comes in. Um, my education comes in, the books that I read come in, the people that I associate with comes in. What I choose to do with my time has a relationship with what I choose not to do. These lost souls are set in stone, firmly ensconced in their self-gratification and will impose their negativity on others who are unable to fight back. The victim becomes the bully in the absence of courage, in the absence of faith in people, in the absence of a letting go or a forgiveness or a working through. of adversities of the past. It's like giving people a chance is so important. Having the courage to embrace them when that chance has been given is so important. If I don't want to lose myself in this pursuit of success, I don't want to be the self-actualized poker face is a false pride. It's a false sense of security. And it's an overemphasis on what I have and what I think I need to be worthy of being listened to, worthy of being understood, ready to listen, ready to understand. And that separates me from people. And I don't want to be separate from people. I want to be close to people. And the closeness, the closeness of people, how people work together and respect one another and trust one another and know where they're going and can work together to figure out how to get there and are willing to sacrifice on that in that pursuit. It creates meaning and success, and but not at the cost of our identities, our dignity, our self-respect. And that's so important for the long-term success. So self-actualized poker face is a warning to be careful, for me to be careful of all the work, all the effort, that I don't lose the best of myself in the pursuit of better. There are certain qualities, being the underdog, being the startup, being the victim, or the oppressed, those with the insecurity, instability, a lack of resources leads to an abundance of resourcefulness for the leader, for the person called to make their life a better place. But be careful. Be careful with the power that comes with that, the competence that comes with that, the hardened skill that comes with being so desperate. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get better. Be careful that doesn't become a pride that actually separates me from others and separates me from myself, because that's going to undermine the culture. I hope you're reading along, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on self-actualized poker face. Pick up your copy of 30 Days of Thought. Please leave us please leave us a review on the Culture Matters podcast. We will see you next time.